you something to scream about. Get over here! Get up!
I can't.
I'm talking to you. Get up!
I can't get it.
Stop crying! You're asking for it again!
For information about how you can help stop domestic violence, call us.
Just like you just saw, domestic violence is very, very serious. And you would think you could depend on the police to somewhat help protect you from repeated, not from one, but from repeated incidences where the woman was asking for help. Clearwater police did not help this woman. And this woman, well, guess what? She was by the ex-spouse, and Clearwater did absolutely nothing to try to help this woman stay alive. So let's get into this article from the Tampa Bay Times. They did a great job, and we're going to expose Clearwater police, because you already know I don't like Clearwater, and we've seen numerous incidences of Clearwater, and now this is just another one. They just keep adding notches into their belt of just complete not knowing what to do and how to do it. And we're going to explain how they messed up. So hold on, buckle up, because this one, some of you this might be a little sad. So let's get into it.
I'm terrified right now because he is hot and he's probably drunk and he does have firearms and he's been stalking and threatening me now for a couple of weeks, but it's escalating.
Okay.
Now you heard the 911 call. You know, she has been begging for help, domestic violence, everything. Going through all this, talking to Clearwater police. And what do you think police did? What do you think the Clearwater police did?
Audrey Peterson's story ended with domestic violence, but it started out like so many. She was in love. When she met Frank Scosa in 2004, Peterson was charmed by his mischievous spirit. She liked the way he fit into her family and the pride he took in her 3 school-aged daughters. But as the years passed, Scosa struggled with alcohol. Last year, at age 71, it seemed like he was drunk more days than he was sober. Peterson, a 61-year-old pediatric nurse, tried to get him help. Finally, she told him she had nothing left to give. That's when the threats began. She filed one police report, then another, then another.
And like you heard, three different occasions, this woman was reaching out to the Clearwater police for help. She knew it was getting more violent. She knew it was getting more aggressive. She knew, you know, the guy's alcoholism. All these things are playing out in real time in front of Clearwater police, and they're doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. And let's continue.
Over and over for a week, she told Clearwater Police Department officers that her ex was stalking her. He was outside her home after dark, revving the engine of his jet black Camaro. He was messaging her that he missed her and that he'd never leave her alone. She was scared, she told police, because he had guns. Her ex had not physically abused her in the past, but after a breakup, research shows people like Peterson are at much greater risk. Police and courts rely heavily on physical violence to act in domestic violence cases, but that alone isn't a good indicator of whether or not someone will be murdered. Despite telling police she was terrified, help came too late for Peterson. Her story is one among countless others. Victims of non-physical abuse like stalking can slip through the cracks of our public safety system, even when they're pleading for help. Peterson's case shows how. I spent a year reporting on her story. I found that the way cops and courts respond to domestic violence is riddled with vague protocol and insufficient training. Often, authorities feel like their hands are tied, and they move too slowly to connect victims with resources or make an arrest. That means sometimes, when people reach out for help, they end up in greater danger.
Now, this is the statement that Eric Gandy, the chief of police, gave. The domestic violence-related death of Audrey Peterson on February 9th was a tragedy. The family of the victim remains in our thoughts after the horrific act of violence carried out by the suspect. Clearwater police worked with Ms. Peterson on multiple occasions. This included direct patrols on her neighborhood, and one officer communicating with her on his off-duty time to help her. Our victim advocate also reached out to work with Ms. Peterson, who expressed her thankfulness to our personnel for their efforts. Unfortunately, the cycle of domestic violence is incredibly hard to predict, especially when there have been no previous acts of violence detailed in the police reports or court petitions. As police officers, we can never know what the response is going to be after a breakup. The only predictable thing when it comes to domestic violence is the unpredictability of the offender. Okay. Now this is the article that was on the Tampa Bay Times website, if you want to go there and look at it. But I'm only going to be breaking down this one section of this article so that you understand something. Authorities must examine what went wrong after a tragedy like this, said Wynn, and make sure it doesn't happen again. These are life and death situations, Wynn said. You can't minimize. You minimize, people die. When Clearwater Police Corporal Joseph May reviewed the case, identify policy and practice changes that could prevent this type of tragedy, he found a single issue of note. One of the officers had been keeping a running case, instead of filing a supplemental notes or reports, I'm sorry. Isn't that funny? If he would have done that, something might have changed. It was a paperwork error. Yeah, paperwork error. Oops. This little oopsie cost this woman her life. Because of Clearwater police and their little oopsie daisy. Whoops. Yeah, well, I'm a loss for words. My heart goes out to the families and everybody that's been affected by this. Some, domestic violence is real. And for anybody, man or woman, if you were ever in one of these situations, walk away, get away, run away. Because as you can see, this happens. But Clearwater police officers, they aren't off the hook. This next part of the video, well, this just goes to show that they have no idea the laws. They have no respect. They just think they're above the law because they carry a badge and a gun. It's just frustrating to hear something like this, and especially in Clearwater, because there's a lot of us that have been saying get rid of Clearwater police and just give it to Pinellas County. After this and what you're about to see and all the prior times that they just don't know the law and they don't know nothing, they're just idiots to it. Yeah, that's what you're about to deal with. So let's get into this later half, and I'll see you at the end. Hi friends, how are you? I'm hoping you're gonna have a really good weekend, and I hope you enjoy this video, especially you, Gandy.
Agenda item 6.12.
Approve the Pinellas County Combined Mutual Aid Agreement for law enforcement services for a period of execution through January 31, 2029, and authorize appropriate officials to execute same.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
Evening, Mayor, Council, Chief Gandy. So the current agreement expires in 2025, January 31st. Requesting your permission to sign the new agreement for mutual aid services between the 13 municipalities and the Sheriff's Office in Pinellas County. Glad to answer any questions.
Anyone here from the public desire to speak to the agenda item 6.12?
The undefeated heavyweight champion of the world.
I'm Mr. Haluba. I'm glad to see Mr. Gandy rejoined us. Pinellas County Sheriff's Office is primary law enforcement in the entire county, including Clearwater, including this building. We don't need this man.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Not only does this agreement have no cost, it's useless because of who's primary law enforcement. Something that has no cost is the absolute definition of worthless. Mr. Gandy apparently wants everyone to feel indebted somehow to Clearwater Police Department. But as we've seen recently, there's been a lot of problems with management with Clearwater Police Department. It almost appears that they're more serving to, illegal forces in the city and county, such as drug dealers. Even goes back to Mr. Slaughter's time. And something that I'm very disturbed about is yesterday you had this man up here. Mr. Rector, you said, are there any questions for Mr. Gandy? Nobody had a question. Not about this, not about his sloppy performance.
We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Nothing. And when you people give him a pass on his bad performance, it just goes on and on and on. So, I'm challenging any of you, call him back up here and ask him some questions. Ask him why he can't manage the Clearwater Police
State of the agenda
correctly.
item, please. Thank you. Thank you. You understand
I
how I
might
feel,
not be
but we're
done.
talking about this.
I've got
agenda.
54 seconds.
But we're talking about this agenda item, so there's something on this
Well,
agreement.
I don't know about that.
Anyone else here desire to speak to agenda item 6.12?
Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. 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 I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta.
Mike Taylor, Port St. Lucie, Florida. Me personally, I do not like Clearwater Police.
Mr. Taylor, you're not.
I understand, but this is about Pinellas County, and that's what I'm gonna get to that. That's where I was gonna get to.
Thank you.
I have my own personal things that are going on with Clearwater.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, why you got your hands on me? Because you're walking with a firearm. I know. I'm going fishing. Look, I got a fishing pole.
Shut up, dude.
All you wanted was 5
Why
seconds.
Let's go. Hey, you're putting your hands on me, sir.
Time to go.
I'm leaving.
They've asked you to
You
go.
don't have to push me, dude. You did the same thing your other officers did.
Time to go.
You put your hands on me.
I'm telling you right now, if you do not leave, you're going to jail.
Let's go.
Mr. Lou, this is the last time I'm telling you.
Fucking dare you.
Clearwater, but I agree that you might as well just take Pinellas County and just give it to them. Let Pinellas County take care of this. Anytime, if Clearwater was to arrest me right now, Pinellas County would be the one not only, dealing with the courts, but they're the ones that are gonna have to transport me. These guys don't even transport people to Pinellas County Jail half the time. They call the paddy wagon. But anyway, I really don't, me personally, anything that if you put Pinellas County instead of Clearwater, I don't agree that you need anything on this. Nothing. Because this is the guy that, I've had issues with him numerous times, and this one, and the beach patrol, and the friggin' bike patrol. I just give it to Pinellas County and let's be done with it. I think they do a better job in actually they actually give a little bit more respect to their residents. So that's just what I think, but, you know.
Anyone else here desire to speak to agenda item 6.12? Seeing none, is there any council discussion? If there's none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve agenda item 6.12.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Agenda item 6.13.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Reappoint Patrick E. Adamson to the Board of Trustees, Clearwater Police Supplementary Pension Plan with a term to expire October 31, 2028.
Mayor, Council. Pat Adamson was nominated to continue in service for the PAC and the Supplemental Pension Plan. Requesting your authorization to approve him.
Thank you. Is there anyone here from the public desiring to speak to agenda item 6.13?
Once again, it really just breaks down that, you know, I just don't like the police here. Anything that you guys are trying to read.
We understand that.
I understand it.
Do you have anything on this
me
agenda?
Speaking, I know you're going to vote unanimous. I get that, but at least I'm getting it off my chest. You know, at least I'm saying something. You know, hopefully one day that we can all do kumbaya at the pizza joint, and we can really sit down and have a heart-to-heart and talk. You know, I don't like wearing this friggin' gear and complaining about the police and the things and appointing people that probably shouldn't even be appointed. I really don't even know this person, but whatever. It is what it is.
Thank you.
I hope that made your day, fucking tyrant Gandy. Well, they've got a meeting on the 29th. Links are in the description. Clearwater, the 29th, like I said, all the in the description. Then we have an Okeechobee meeting on the 24th. That one, I'm going to make another video before I leave because I'm going to see the family today. But I'm going to be making a couple different videos. One's about Okeechobee, like this one right here. I want to see a lot of you in Okeechobee if you can make it. If you want to make it to the Okeechobee one, links are in the description. That one's on the 24th at 9 a.m. I know it sucks. It's not my deal. I don't make the time. They do. But the thing about Clearwater is obviously they have a disdain for we the people. And there's a disgusting fact that they didn't do anything for this woman, and she kept begging and pleading. And she is no longer with us because of the paperwork error. The oops, I forgot to do my job the correct way. Oops. You know, at least in my profession, like when I was a chef, if I messed up on fries, I could remake the fries. But whenever things like this happen, and this is not a one-off, this has happened numerous times. You know, they even had one of their own officers stalking an ex-girlfriend. One of the police officers was stalking. So this is not a one-off in Clearwater. Clearwater, you need to do better. That's all I can tell you. Or just give it to Pinellas County. Let the sheriffs take care of it. Maybe they're going to do a better job. And if they don't, then guess what? We'll go after Pinellas County too. And I'm not saying all these cops are so great in Pinellas. You know, I had my run-ins in Pinellas County too. But anyway, in a nutshell, Clearwater, you done fucked up. And we're holding you accountable. And we're going to hold you accountable on the 29th. So I can't wait to see you then. And go fuck yourself.